This could well be the safest, most high-tech horse fence you've ever seen. It's easy to erect and you can fit a whole fence in the back of your ute. The fence starts with these super tough posts that are made out of 95% recycled PVC. You've probably seen plastic posts before, but not like this. You see, they're engineering grade. They were developed with the CSIRO and they've got technology that means they don't bend in the sun. So is this the holy grail? A good-looking, tough, electrifiable fence that's safe for horses and fits in the back of your ute. Let's install it and find out what the tricks are. The trick is the polymer on the outside of these posts. It's called ASA and it contains a pigment that reflects near infrared light, meaning that these posts don't absorb heat, they reflect it. So light, strong, and no more bending in the sun. The railing for this fence, Titan rail, is supported by 3 wires, not 2, and you can electrify them, sparking up your horse's day. Ted, we're driving plastic posts today, mate. What do you reckon?
I like them. I've done other brands before,
yeah,
but nothing is like this one.
It's
and I'm
nice,
not just,
isn't it?
I'm not just saying that. I think this has actually been a long time waiting for us contractors.
Okay.
So we'll see how they ram in.
Drive over it, mate.
Drive over it?
Yep.
That's 8 tonne.
Yeah, that's all right.
Right, yeah?
That was boring. Nothing happened.
It was.
Let's stick it on the driveway.
Righto.
Well, at least the cap came off this time.
Yeah.
But, mate, apart from some scuffing, no damage.
Well, of course you're going to get scuffing, but no, geez, they're pretty flexible.
That's going to drive all right, isn't it?
I reckon they will drive with the Munro, yep.
All right, let's have a go, mate. You got a few tricks up your sleeve. Teach us how to drive square posts properly.
Yeah. Right, I'm just going to try the first one without any holes. Pretty dry underneath these pines here, so see how strong they are.
That's nice and quiet, mate.
Pardon?
That's nice and quiet.
It is. I can tell you one thing, they're slippery, but they're good.
Mate, that looks like you had a fair bit of control over that going in. Any tricks?
They're very flexible.
Yeah.
So this is the first one I've ever put in. The next one will get better because
Alright.
it's only the first one I've ever put in.
All right, let's go.
No worries. So what I'm doing here now is trying to get this bottom locked in against this guide wire. That's it there. Just trying to get that bottom locked in. That's it here. Yeah. Only one place for this post to go now is down. Just got to try and keep him plumb as they go down. But because they're hollow, the traditional square post when you ram it likes to rotate, and we've got spanners to keep them square on with the wire. Because these are hollow, they're locking in nicely. There's a lot of flex in these posts, which is good. Not so good when you're trying to ram it, but we only got to ram them once. In. And still, I haven't drilled one hole yet. Got 5mm. A couple little tappies. Like that. I've just got the podgy bar here, not to push it, just to take a bit of that shock out of it while I drive it. 50. There. Touch more. I'm going to have to drill this one. I was having a good run. I think because there's a... Do you want to see the tree root? We've got a bit of vegetation in there. So I'll just drill him out. I've got a 4-inch auger on. Or it might be 3.75. Probably worn down to a 3, I don't know. I'm just going to try there. Sink that down to there. Should be enough. All right. So we go now. Right there, just need to go over. You can see the dolly bouncing, so the post is a bit of force going through it. I'm just putting the bar there again, just so I can take a bit of a shock out of it, so the post absorbs more of the hit. Alright, oh, we're nearly there. Bugger. 15 mil. I'll put that down there, measure 15 mil underneath, and it's about there. Couple right there.
Upgrade your listing experience with instant relaxation and smooth relax with Amazon Alexa.
Well, 10 minutes down the track, and Ted, you're already finished, mate. Nice
All
to
done.
watch your master at work. You've given us some fantastic tips there for driving posts in general, but also these plastic posts. How were they to drive, mate?
Good. I enjoyed it.
You were a little bit worried about them twisting in the hole, but you drove them without drilling a pilot hole, and they just went straight in?
They did, yeah, because they're hollow, so they can't spin and twist on you. The ones where I had to drill, tree roots being in the Yarra Valley,
Yes.
They did
Always
twist a
tree
bit,
roots around here, aren't there?
but there was a couple of posts back there where I thought, nah, and I just knocked it straight for the tree root.
Yeah, right. So you were able to cut minor tree roots with these as well.
Yeah, but I think it's 25 or 30 mil. You know, it's still tree root though.
When you drilled, you used what, a 4-inch bit?
Yeah, that's probably worn down.
Yeah, right.
Many posts.
So the smaller the hole, the better, because obviously you're going to get more compaction.
Yep.
In terms of driving, they stayed reasonably straight.
They did.
And that was a surprise for you, wasn't it?
It was
Pleasant surprise.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, very
it was.
good.
No, I'm amazed how well they went. I thought they would have busted when the tractor went over them, but...
All right, job's done. Thank you very much, mate. The beauty of this product is we don't need a fencing contractor now. We can just put it in with a drill.
We need a cameraman then.
Yeah, I do. Now at each end of the Titan rail fence we've got a stock post square tube steel end assembly. The diagonal brace makes it super safe for horses. They're really easy to set up, they're really easy to maintain and adjust if required, and you can also get a plastic sleeve to go over the top if you don't like the look of steel. Not only do the square posts of the stock post end assembly match the rest of the fence, but they give you a variety of options for hanging gates off, whether they be welded or thread. And for changes in direction along your fence line like this post, simply reinforce it with some 75mm square tubing and make the tubing half in, half out. So put a reasonable length in there. The steel on the inside of this post will also allow you to put diagonal braces along the fence line in either direction and make this a really strong bracing option for changes of direction in your fence. Installing the caps onto the top of these long ranger posts is a little bit tricky until you get the hang of it, but basically start one side and then just work the corners until it starts to go in, then finish it off with a series of taps. Having said that, horses can be real smart asses at times. If you've got a smart ass horse, a tech screw will sort him out. Installing the Titan rail clips on the long ranger posts is really easy, and it shows another couple of special benefits and features that these clips have that place them above the competition. First is they sit up on top of the post, so your rail is right at the top of the post, not an inch below as it is with some others. And also the clips open up to allow you to slide your rail in really easily and then just hit them home. And if you make a mistake, they pop back open again. How good is that? Now obviously we're putting 3 rails up on these posts, so we're going to need 3 clips. The side clips work just the same as the top clip without the attachment at the top. They also open up to allow the rails to be inserted from the bottom. So make sure you put the solid end upwards when you put them on the post, and try and get them straight in a line down the post because it looks much better. Measure twice, drill once. Fixing off your Titan rail on the end posts is also really easy with the included Titan rail brackets. All you need is a 13mm bolt, drill a hole through the post. Now these are made out of the same material as the inlet manifold for cars, so they're extremely heat resistant, but they're also non-conductive, meaning you don't have to add extra insulation to your Titan rail if you want to electrify it. Pulls around, it jams in the bracket, and it's attached perfectly securely to your post. You can trim off the excess when you've finished and you've tightened everything up with an angle grinder with a cutting disc. Now each time you tie off a Titan rail, you can clip it to the posts along the line. Just make sure that you don't twist it around and you keep it nice and straight under your arm. Lift it into the clips, clip it home, and away you go. Simple. Once you've clipped in the Titan rail, before you tighten it, finish it off with the bottom screws. Even when these brackets are fully installed on the post, there's about 5mm of clearance here, which allows your railing to track the land as you're going through dips and gullies. And it also means If you're 5mm out on your measurements, come on, you know you are sometimes, there's a little bit of room here so your railing stays nice and straight with the fence. Once it's trimmed, all you have to do is fit the railing, same as you did at the other end. Get it reasonably tight. Once you've got your railing into the bracket, you might want to just pull it up as tight as you can get it. The theme of simplicity continues with the Titan rail system. Now it comes time to strain up the railing, and we're going to use this thing they call a line strainer. Looks a bit like a cotton reel, and my goodness, it's well designed. To use the line strainer, simply remove the 2 steel pins. You're going to need them later. Put them somewhere where you can easily reach them. Then remove half of the centre of the cotton reel. Place this over the Titan rail, and then drop the back half back in place. Now I'm straining up the Titan rail near the gate post, so if it ever goes slack, you don't have to look for the tensioners. Some people like to hide them further down the fence behind a tree or away from sight. Really, it's up to you for personal preference. I just like to do things so that they can be easily maintained. Now, to tighten up the Titan rail, all you're going to need is a couple of 1/2-inch steel rods. I found some old Rio. It's a bit of a tight fit, but we're going to kind of make it work. And you want to put these rods in halfway so that you've got a brace to hold the strain on both sides of the cotton reel. Once we've finished doing that, we're going to wind it up. Once you're happy with the tension that you've got on the railing, pop your pins in place. Well, the posts have stood up well to being run over by a tractor, and they certainly look fantastic on the finished fence line. So it's time for some well-considered and carefully managed science. Let's burn them. Now, the theory goes that this outer layer, which is near infrared reflective and ultraviolet resistant, should burn under flame, revealing the PVC. Once the flame reaches the PVC should release an inert gas and self-extinguish. So we're going to try 2 tests. We're going to try a far-off test and see if we can make smoke, and then we're going to try a close-up test and see if we can set it on fire. So let's try a 2-part flame test. Okay, so the outer layer is now burning. Let's get closer with the flame and see what happens. That's not the result I was after. So the ASA is slowly burning away. This is a pretty hot flame, by the way. I love the smell of melting post in the morning. All right, we're starting to get some smoke from the PVC. This should self-extinguish. The point being that we'll still have some posts to erect a temporary fence on in the event of a medium-sized fire. I like science. Don't burn your posts, by the way. It's not good for you. Kurt, how you going, mate?
G'day, Tim. How are you?
What do you think? What do you think of the fence?
Oh, looks amazing.
I want to talk to you about a few elements of this fence. The first thing I want to talk to you about is your choice of end assembly. You love the steel stand assemblies.
Yes, yeah, I'm a big fan. I think the durability and the lack of wire is a big thing for me. They just try and make it as difficult as you can for the horses to hurt themselves.
Because you see injured horses all the time,
Yep.
don't you?
Yep, every
And
week.
what's the most common end assembly that injures horses?
It's probably the your standard box assembly with the wires going horizontally,
Yep.
leaving them open, or when the contractors tie them together in the middle, and then that makes a V, so the horse gets their foot in the end, and then as they try to pull out, the wires come together like a V and they get caught.
Nasty, sort of like a guillotine for their foot. Yeah. Whereas the big solid 50mm bar here, that's not going to really cause too much damage, is it?
And same here. Very, very sturdy. It's off the ground. It's not.
Yeah.
It's really, I'm really impressed with it.
All right, let's go and have a look at this fence, mate.
No worries.
So what do you reckon, mate? It's a little bit of flex to this, but that's not a bad thing for a horse fence, is it?
No, it's good. It's good. I like the if it's a little bit, it's got to be rigid enough to be the barrier, but not, yeah, just bounce
That's
off
not
it.
going anywhere, is it?
No.
And the good thing is it's got highly conductive coating on the top and bottom wires, so we can electrify those. All it takes is a simple clip to hook it up to your energiser.
Which I think's important.
Now, this spacing, you like having your bottom rail a fair bit off the ground, don't you?
Yes, yeah, just again for the horse's legs.
Yep.
50 centimetres or so off the ground is a good sort of height in my opinion. Yep.
Yeah, right. If you're running foals or something, you might drop it a bit lower, but then probably mesh is a better alternative for foals as well, isn't it?
Yeah, for small yards I like mesh, but if you're running a larger paddock and you chose this product, I still think it's a really good barrier for the top. Yes. And it's a nice solid sight, visual sighting on
the fence.
On the fence for the horses, yeah.
And I suppose a few Davos clips and stuff, and there's no reason why you couldn't put a bit of mesh on the back of these long ranger posts. They're thick enough and strong enough to hold it.
Yep. Yeah, no, the posts are very solid. Very impressed with the posts.
So Kurt, talking general fences, what would be the top 3 mistakes that you see in horse fences, mate?
The top 3 things that I'd consider would be, 1, the height of the fence. Yep. If the lower the fence is, the closer the horses can get either side, and so therefore the closer their legs are to the fence.
So with these clips here being on the top of the post, we've raised the rail up as high as we can. That's a good thing?
Yes, I think it's a good thing. The second thing would be the height of the lowest wire.
Down here?
Yes,
yep.
So having a gap under here for me is important because, when the horses do decide to engage with each other, that usually the first thing they try and do is strike forward with their front foot. Mm-hmm. So you're giving yourself a good chance that they're not going to get caught there with that bottom wire being off the ground. And then the third thing for me would be using anything other than plain wire.
Yeah, so materials are important.
Yes.
Big no-nos are barbed wire and things like that.
And the ring lock.
And the ring lock, yeah. So you want to either use horse mesh or you want to use something that's very open.
Yes.
Nothing halfway in between.
No. I don't believe so. I think the mesh or going to something solid and wide and visible.
What I love about this is this entire fence fitted in the back of a standard ute.
Yeah.
A couple of people could put this up on their own with no technical skills over a weekend. That's pretty exciting, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's going to keep your horse secure.
Yep. And I love the fact that it's recycled for the posts and I think the durability. I mean, it's basically maintenance free.
There's 20% recycled material in this, 95% recycled material in the posts, and they're fire resistant.
Yep.
That's exciting, isn't it?
Yeah, no, it's very good for this area.
Well, mate, enjoy your new fence.
No worries, thank you very much.
Always fantastic to have you on the channel. Guys, don't forget, if you want more tips, ideas and great advice, hit the subscribe button. There's something new every week.